Made our way from Moe's over to Bonfire, about 2 blocks away. Aaron Foose is one of the brewers, and he's joining us outside at the Bonfire, Thanks for coming in this morning.
Absolutely, no problem.
What time do you get here? You here early?
It depends. Normal start's kind of like 8:30. If we're doing a double brew, someone will come in early at 6, and then someone will come in at 10 to kind of finish up the second batch of that day. Sometimes we'll do a triple brew, and the second person will come in at 2 and kind of stay till that's over.
So what I want to know, because I wasn't aware of this, I mean, you just decide tomorrow we're going to brew?
We kind of have a 3-week schedule laid out, so we kind of know what we're doing for the next 3 weeks, 2 weeks out from this week, obviously. So that kind of dictates what we're doing. Generally, we're brewing Tuesday through Thursday, and then Monday and Friday are kind of more like cellaring and cleaning days.
I just figured that you just brew all the time, and then it's a process, right? It's not like you just hit the button to brew. There's a whole process behind it.
Yeah,
so let's just talk about, take me through your brewing today, a double brew. So what are you going to do, and then whatever you brew, when will it be available?
So double brew, first guy comes in at 6. He starts mashing in, which is when enzymes eat the starch or convert the starch to sugars in the grain. Then you kind of extract that sugar water, boil it, add your hops, and that sugar water is then what the yeast eat to create CO2 and alcohol. And that, from brew day to the finished product, will generally be 2 to 3 weeks, roughly. Okay. So, once we brew it, it kind of sits, and the yeast does its thing for a few weeks, and then...
So you have some back there that was brewed a couple of weeks ago. Is it going to be, opened up and accessible today, or just give or take?
It's give or take. I'd say generally it's about 2 weeks. We let it sit for maybe a week, and then we'll do a couple things to kind of brighten it up, which is make it a little more clear, kind of drop out the yeast and some of the sediment, and then pretty much good to go after that.
So Aaron, what you're brewing today, this double brew, is there anything special you guys are going to be brewing up for making our way to the end of the summer into fall? Anything new on the horizon?
Today we're just making the IPA over there, but pretty soon we got all these hops behind us. We're going to be harvesting those and getting some other what you call wet hops, which you don't dry out the hops, you get it directly off the vine and throw it in the beer, and that'll be our wet hop IPA that we come out with every fall. So that'll be coming out maybe in the next month or so.
So when you put the hops in, obviously the hops are growing here.
Yeah.
What's it like? How long does it take for a hop to become that point where it's mature so you can use it?
Sure. So they'll start growing kind of maybe the end of April or so, and we'll kind of let them grow until end of August, end of September is kind of the whole season.
So you're getting close to using fresh hops.
Oh yeah.
So in between then, you're using hops that you get from elsewhere.
Yeah. So there's other hop farms around the country, generally in Washington, that'll grow the hops. Everyone harvests at the same time, and generally dry it out, and you can kind of pelletize them and seal them up, and that'll keep them fresh the whole year round. Okay. But then the wet hops that you throw in right off the vine, you kind of have to do, right now, essentially.
So I kind of just got really distracted with this interview because I was learning stuff for myself, which I think is great information. We have a little bit of time left. Let's tell everybody about Bonfire Brewing and what it's all about.
So Bonfire is a brewery in Eagle, serving the community in the Vail Valley as far as the Front Range and the Western Slope. That's kind of centered on just the outdoors and having a good time. Everyone goes out and does their own activities and then comes back around the bonfire at the end of the night, has some beers and laughs, does it all again the next day. So
thanks, Aaron, for your time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Keep on brewing. He's got a double brew today. Stop by Bonfire, located right downtown in Eagle. We've got Epic Morning with Ashley coming up, but first a look at that forecast.